if we are aligned, life can become a smoother ride. So if the key is being aligned, okay, if you're aligned, don't worry, good for you. And if not, okay, it's fine, okay, it's good too, because life comes calling. Life comes calling. So in our book, The Art of Listening to Life, we dedicate a chapter on any one of these calls in life. The first one we call instant alignment, the second gentle call, and the third one intense call. So if we are aligned, good for us. If not, don't worry, life will take care of this. It will tell you something clear. So let's talk about instant alignment. We can see some beautiful pictures, sailboats. Marcus has experience sailing, so maybe you can tell us something about.
Yeah, I'm not going to brag about my sailing because it ended with sinking the sailboat, so we'll another message, but anyway. Being the presentation of the book, thought it'd be good to just read the sailboat analogy right out of the book. So it's actual reading from the book. Life sends us messages. Sometimes things happen in our life that are totally unexpected, something unforeseen and not in the plans. Although we try hard at times to coordinate and schedule what goes on in our lives, it would seem that we are not always in control. If you look at your life as though you were a sailboat navigating in the open sea and on a given course, then one of these unforeseen events can be seen as an impulse that changes your direction of travel. A change in direction of the wind, perhaps. If you are attentive and responsive, a slight adjustment in the rudder to correct the course can make things go smoothly and feel rather natural. Conversely, if no adjustment is made, then the sails start to flutter and to flap. You may still have time to make the adjustments to return to smooth sailing, but if you persist in not making any adjustments, then the fluttering and the flapping gets more chaotic. Forward movement slows, and the whole situation can become rough and dramatic. You could even end up, as they say, dead in the water. In Adventure of the Soul, these unforeseen events are messages from life, with the purpose of getting us to adjust our course. It is the calling from life, or from our soul, reminding us to follow our path in a conscious way. Life is constantly reminding us to stay tuned in the moment. If we deal with the call right away, then the adjustment or the turn can go smoothly and gently. We could call this instant alignment. You will know that you are aligned and in tune with what needs to happen because you'll feel good about it. And it happens, and the inconvenience, even an inconvenience, will look okay in that context. So that's just the analogy of the sailboat and the gentle calls and the intense calls that Joseph is going to talk about further. When you're in your sailboat and there are some changes and you make adjustments, you actually return to smooth sailing pretty quickly. That's called instant alignment. That's paying attention to the messages. If it goes on and we don't pay attention to the gentle calls and the gentle messages, then it ramps up into intense calls, and that's where it goes from being in our outside scenario and enters our body in some form.
The plan is being a good sailor, right, in our lives. So paying attention to that signs, that things that happen, apparently outside of you or inside of you. What I am saying. Imagine you have a plan, you are going somewhere, and in that moment, an intuition comes to you. Maybe this is not the best thing to do. Maybe before doing this, I have to talk with someone. Maybe this is not really a good idea. I say intuition, I can say your inner voice, I can say paying attention to your heart. I am drawing here at this alignment. We are going in that direction, and then something happening in another direction. And you can pay attention to this if you pay attention to this, you can do this. It's like you are getting that information. You are paying attention to that wisdom, inner wisdom, and you can adjust your course. And also you can pay attention what is happening in your scenario, what you call coincidences. We can call synchronicities. So again, it's wisdom from the higher self, from the life is there. And you can put attention what is happening in your scenario, what is happening apparently outside of you, and what is happening inside of me. And if I pay attention to this wisdom, I can be instant aligned. In the book, we wrote about 10 ways to be aligned. And let's go to the next step, the gentle course. So, I am going in that direction, an intuition, or my inner voice telling something different. What I do? I have a choice. Getting this knowledge, this wisdom, and being aligned, or ignore that. If I ignore that, what I will get is a gentle call. Why? Because if one part of me is going in that direction, and another part of me is going in that direction, what will happen in my scenario? I will give you an example. Imagine, I want to send an email to someone. I have to, but maybe is one part of me saying, I have to send that email. But another part of me thinks, okay, that will create a misunderstanding. That person, he or she will not like what I am saying. So I am drawing at this line here. One thing that could happen is I write the email and then I push send and nothing happened. I lose the email, my computer shut down, stopped working. So this is an example of this alignment and how this alignment shows up in your scenario. In the book there is several examples of these things, like obstacles that happen in your life, or things that stop working, or things that you lose. And then our proposition is when that things happen in your scenario, when something unexpected shows up in your scenario, something that you don't like, instead of trying to solve, look inside of you and see how you are creating this. So also this book is an example of magic. Why? Because when you pay attention what is happening inside of you and you transform this, and you heal this, that obstacle just disappears. So because of this I am saying that the book is also a book of magic, because you will work with inner action instead of out action, instead of trying to change my scenario, manipulating my scenario, making effort there. You will work with inner action, which is more powerful. You will work inside of you, and then you will observe how the scenario reflects something different. You will witness how the obstacle just disappears. So this is an invitation to do magic in your life, but doing magic from the inner part of you. Paying attention how you create that obstacle. What I am saying is when there is an obstacle there, I have to pay attention how I create it, and then noticing, heal inside of me, and then the obstacle just disappears. This is a normal thing to do. Okay, I hope I make myself understandable. So, next step, let's go from the gentle course to the intense course. So, as you see, the volume gets loud. I say intense course because the color in life is not there, it's not apparently out there in your scenario, it's here, it's in your body. Volume increase. And then what happens is that you have pain, symptoms, disease, illness that are talking more clear and more loud to you. As I said at the beginning, we are specialized in finding the gift which is contained in any unpleasant situation and any physical discomfort. And we are also specialized in finding the gift in any illness or in any symptom that happens in your body. I also can say, which is an extreme call, when a serious illness happens in your body. Maybe you think I could die from this illness, or maybe you have a diagnosis of chronic illness, so something serious. And in that cases, that is something serious, still there is a gift contained there. So in the instant alignment, you can have a choice to decide, I'm going to pay attention to this wisdom or not, I am going to modify my course a little bit or not. But when there is an extreme call, you have no choice. Here is yes or not, here is yes or yes, I have no choice. So I am talking about change your life. When a serious illness is diagnosis, this is an opportunity to change your life, to change your habits or to change your life. And this is the gift which is contained there. And probably you might know someone that even was diagnosed with a serious illness, she or he could be happy after the process because he or she became another person. Well, so I am here because of an intense call. When I was 20-something, I started to have a pain here in my neck, in my shoulder, very intense. Every time was more frequent and more intense. I went to the doctor, I went to the official medicine, and I take medicines, I take everything, I do any test, and finally they say me, this is a chronic disease, so better you get used to this. I was 20-something, the pain was very intense. Sometimes at morning time I was not able to move from my bed, I was paralyzed. And then, what was the new? That will take forever. So that was for me an opportunity because I didn't get that message, I didn't want to get that message, and that opens doors. And I start to look to other places. I look for alternative or complementary medicines. I was in contact with Chinese medicine, different kind of medicines. And was until I went to a seminar that was called The Secret Code of the Body. And in this seminar, I found out that every part of the body has a relation with any part of your life. So your body, any part of your body, has a clear relationship with a part of your life. And in that case, my shoulder and my neck pain was related with weight I was carrying on, with responsibility, with personal importance I give to myself. And I went out to that seminar very happy. Not because of the pain, because I had the same pain, the same level of pain. But I was happy, you know why? Because I thought, maybe if I release that weight, that responsibility. I was a businessman in that time. I was running several businesses with partners. So I was carrying a lot of responsibility. I thought, okay, if I am able to release this, maybe my pain will be gone. And then I make a trip, and I experienced that pain in 4 days, in just 4 days disappeared. It moves from my neck to my shoulder, goes down to my elbow, to my wrist, to my hand, to my fingers, and disappear without a trace. More than 20 years ago. 4 days. So I am describing what happened. Describing. I didn't understand in that moment. I was amazed. But I didn't understand very well what was happening until I came back to Spain. You know why? Because when I came back to Spain, I discovered that I became another person who went to India, because I went to India, Nepal, and other places, was a different person than who came back. I was wearing my suit, my tie, I went to my office with my partner, and I feel like being in a comedy with no sense. So I had a choice. I can keep faking it, acting like an actor, or I can step forward what makes sense now to my life. So again, I had no choice. I was not faking anymore. I decided to write because I understood what that process about every part of your body is pointing to every part of your life. And not only this, I experienced it in my body. So that was my first book, Medicine of the Soul. Some kind of dictionary that I will share with you few examples of this.